Scene script. Have you ever stopped to ponder the word impossible? What does it mean to you? This word impossible, it's a heavy one, isn't it? A word that carries the weight of doubt, a word that can put a full stop to our dreams and goals. It's a word that creates a boundary, a line that we're often too scared to cross, a hurdle too high to jump over. It's the word that whispers, "You can't do it." But have you ever thought about why we give this word so much power? Why do we let it dictate our actions, our decisions, our lives? Why do we let it stop us from chasing our dreams, from reaching for the stars, from becoming the best versions of ourselves? Some people, however, they see impossible differently. For them, it's not a barrier but a challenge. It's not a word of defeat but a call to action. It's not a roadblock but a stepping stone towards greatness. They see impossible, and they think challenge accepted. The word impossible has been used too often to discourage innovative ideas and bold dreams. It was once said that man would never fly. It was deemed impossible. But then came the Wright brothers, turning the impossible into the possible. People once believed that we could never harness the power of electricity, a thought that seemed impossible. Then Thomas Edison stepped in, shattering that notion of impossibility. How many times have you heard the word impossible used to describe something that we now take for granted in our everyday life? How many times have we seen the impossible become possible right before our eyes? So the next time you hear the word impossible, don't let it stop you. See it as a challenge, a stepping stone, a call to action. Turn it around, make it your motivation, your fuel to push forward. Because really, what is impossible? What if I told you that impossible is just a state of mind? Let me take you back to the year 1903, to a time when the concept of human flight was deemed impossible. We find ourselves in the small town of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. In this quiet corner of the world, two brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright, are about to defy the odds and change the course of history. These two men, armed with a simple bicycle shop and a relentless spirit, dared to dream the impossible dream. Their journey was not easy, filled with countless setbacks and naysayers who laughed at their audacious goal. After all, humans flying, that was the stuff of fantasy, of science fiction. It was a vision dismissed by many as an impossible dream. But the Wright brothers were not deterred. They toiled in their workshop day after day, year after year, refining their designs, testing their theories. Their first attempts at flight were far from successful. Models crashed, designs failed, but each failure brought them one step closer to their goal. Each mistake was a lesson, a stepping stone on the path to success. They didn't see these setbacks as failures, but as opportunities to learn, to improve, to progress. They were fueled by a belief in the power of the impossible. And then, on a cold December day, the impossible happened. The Wright brothers' flyer took off, soaring above the sand dunes of Kitty Hawk, a flight that lasted just 12 seconds, but in those 12 seconds, they shattered the impossible. They proved that with perseverance, determination, and a belief in oneself, the impossible could become possible. Their story is a testament to the power of believing in the impossible. It's a tale of two brothers who dared to dream, who dared to challenge the status quo, and in doing so, changed the world. They showed us that the word impossible is just a state of mind, a barrier to be broken. If they had believed in the impossible, would we be flying today? Now, let's move forward a few years to the life of Thomas Edison. In the annals of human endeavor, few have demonstrated such dogged persistence as Thomas Edison, the luminary whose inventions have shaped the modern world. Born in 1847, Edison showed an early penchant for invention, but it was his journey towards the creation of the electric light bulb that truly exemplified his indomitable spirit. Imagine, if you will, a world cloaked in darkness after sunset, the only illumination coming from flickering candles or gas lamps. That was the world before Edison dared to dream of an electric bulb. He envisioned a bright future, quite literally, and set about to make it a reality. But the path to success was far from easy. Edison faced thousands of failed attempts in his quest to invent the electric bulb. Yes, you heard it right, thousands. Each failed experiment, every unsuccessful prototype could have been a reason to quit, to accept the impossible. But did he? No, he didn't. Instead, he viewed each failure as a stepping stone, a lesson to learn from. He once quipped, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This unwavering perseverance is what made Edison a paragon of determination and resilience. Each setback, each roadblock was met with renewed vigor. He remained undeterred, his resolve steeled by the belief that he was one step closer to success. And success did come, not as a sudden breakthrough, but as the result of countless hours of labor, countless failures, and an unyielding belief in the possible. In 1879, after years of relentless pursuit, Edison's electric light bulb finally flickered to life. His impossible dream had been realized, illuminating the world and changing the course of history. The word impossible was just a challenge for him, a challenge he overcame with time and persistence. So, was it impossible, or was it just a matter of time and persistence? Scene script. Every single day, we encounter our own impossible challenges. Let's dive into the realm of the ordinary, the everyday life that each of us leads. It's here, in these seemingly mundane moments, that we often come face to face with our own versions of the impossible. It's not always about the groundbreaking inventions or the monumental achievements, but rather about those small personal battles we fight and win every day. Perhaps it's the fear of public speaking that has held you back for years. Maybe it's the ambition to run a marathon despite never having run a mile before. Or it could be the daunting task of learning a new language, or the challenge of stepping out of your comfort zone to make a life-altering decision. Each of these, in their own right, can feel like an insurmountable impossible. But let's pause for a moment and think about the word impossible. It's a term we often use to label situations that seem too difficult, too challenging, or too intimidating. But more often than not, it's not the situation itself that's impossible. Rather, it's our perception of it. Remember, the impossible is not absolute. It's not a concrete wall, but rather a foggy window that just needs a bit of wiping to see clearly. The fear of public speaking can be conquered with practice and patience. The ambition to run a marathon begins with that first step, and then the next and the next. Learning a new language starts with learning a single word, then a sentence, and then a conversation. Stepping out of your comfort zone? Well, that's just about taking that leap of faith. Every impossible has a possible hidden within it. It's all about perspective. It's about breaking down that big, scary, impossible into smaller, manageable parts. It's about perseverance, resilience, and the unwavering belief in our own potential. So, when you encounter an impossible situation, how will you respond? Every impossible is an opportunity in disguise. Let that thought linger for a moment. It's a profound statement, isn't it? Throughout this video, we've looked at the power of the word impossible. We've examined the stories of the Wright brothers and Thomas Edison, ordinary people who refused to bow to the impossible. They didn't just accept the world as it was, but dared to envision it as it could be. In every instance, impossible was not a wall, but a door. A door that led to new discoveries, new possibilities, and new realities. It was a challenge to be met, a puzzle to be solved, a mountain to be climbed. It was an invitation to push the boundaries of what we know, to stretch the limits of what we can do. Imagine if they had accepted the impossible, if they had said, "It's too hard," or "It's never been done before," or "I'm not smart enough." Where would we be today? Would we have airplanes soaring through the sky, connecting people from around the world? Would we have light bulbs illuminating our homes, bringing brightness to the darkest corners of our lives? The word impossible is not a verdict, it's a beginning. It's the starting point of a journey that leads to innovation, to progress, to change. It's a call to arms, a rallying cry, a beacon that guides us towards the future. It's a word that asks us not what we can't do, but what we can do. So, as we conclude our discussion, Let's not fear the impossible. Instead, let's embrace it. Let's see it for what it truly is, an opportunity. An opportunity to grow, to learn, to evolve. An opportunity to turn the impossible into the possible, to transform dreams into reality, to shatter the limits of our imagination. Remember, the word impossible itself says, I'm possible. So, are you ready to shatter your impossible?